I've been in your program for what, like 3 or 4 months now, and feel phenomenal, honestly. Like everything that I've seen from your program has been insane. Within 2 weeks, like my skin was pretty much like, it was gone. Like my redness, I had bumps here and there and like stuff like that. It was gone within 2 weeks. It's crazy. I don't know, bro. It's, it's really good. I definitely have higher energy and like ability to lock in. It's been such a good change in how my body feels.
Basically, if we could start, maybe just like introduce yourself a little bit,
Yeah,
bit of background, and then we can go from there.
for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, from me to you, you know me, but I'm Connor Kurtz. I've been in your program for what, like 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah.
And feel phenomenal, honestly. Like everything that I've seen from your program has been insane. Like I've been working out since I was like 15, 16 years old. And was always into like the whole bodybuilding diet. You know what I mean? Where you're eating like chicken, rice, broccoli, stuff like that. And eventually I, kind of transitioned to do like the dirty bulk thing to like add more mass. Probably a big mistake because my skin like really broke out from that.
Yeah.
And then, like did the whole bodybuilding cut thing, like did the 16-week like bodybuilding prep, got really, really lean. And then after that, like had like this whole like eating disorder, bro. Like I never wanted to eat anything because it was like, I'm going to gain fat. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to gain this, so I never wanted to eat anything. And I was like kind of always like conscious about that. And it ended up like really hurting me, bro. Like I like lost so much muscle mass, like lost so much weight, like my skin started breaking out again because I guess I just didn't have enough like nutrients in there or something like that. And then like I pretty much like that was like a couple of years, and then I like found your program, and since then, bro, like kind of completely twisted everything. It's been really good. Yeah. So I mean, that's my background as far as like fitness, nutrition, health goes. But outside of that, we kind of met in GCC, so it seems like everybody there is doing some type of cool thing online. So same as me.
Nice, man. Awesome. Just to go into some of your background, because there's a lot of people that will resonate. I also was doing the low fat bodybuilding stuff, and you said you had an eating disorder. What specifically? Because I had one too. What was the kind of eating disorder you were experiencing when you were doing the conventional bodybuilding diet, which everyone says is fine to do, or that's what most people think is the right thing to do. But what specifically did you feel when you were doing that?
So I don't know what the name would be for it, but like I would always like, first of all, I never wanted to eat more than like X amount of calories. So I would be counting my calories all the time, and I would never like allow myself to like enjoy anything. But there would be like 1 or 2 days where I would binge a bunch of shit. So like I would like barely never enjoy anything. I would be under eating because I was eating, bro, like just because I was like, okay, I can't gain fat. I need to eat at a deficit. So in my head, I was like, oh, I'm gonna eat at a deficit. So I was losing weight. I wasn't gaining muscle, and I was honestly like keeping the same amount of fat on. And so it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And then eventually I would just go binge. I would binge eat at night. I would binge eat, in the morning sometimes. I would just binge eat too often. And bro, that was the biggest like issue for me was my sleep schedule got fucked up because of that. Like I just wouldn't want to go out to eat. It was hard to enjoy life at all, honestly. Like it was pretty horrible because you're always like concerned, oh, I'm gonna go over this calorie amount, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But in reality is it's just like, bro, just eat better, just like like and it's crazy because it's such a simple solution. But I mean, like that's really kind of what changed it, where it's like, okay, you're gonna eat a steak, you're gonna eat a bunch of eggs, you're gonna eat avocado, you're gonna eat butter. And I was like, all right, like let's try it out. And bro, honestly, like I know your guy, like a lot of people in your program say like they've gained a lot of weight and stuff like that. And I've definitely gained weight, but I haven't gained fat. Like I've just been gaining a bunch of muscle. Like and like it's crazy because I still feel lean and I feel strong and I just feel like, more full. So like it's crazy. I don't know, like maybe I don't know where you learned about all this stuff, but bro, it's really good.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. And I guess since we're talking about the craving side, you just described that you were feeling full and things like that. So you've noticed that as you've adopted, let's say, the principles that I'm teaching, you've noticed that the cravings have gone down.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say honestly, like I had a crazy caffeine addiction before your program as well. And I know the thing that you guys were saying is, oh, get off caffeine, get off caffeine. And it was easy to get off caffeine. Like as soon as I started the butter, because I feel like I didn't have any like craving for any food, no sweets, no caffeine, literally just had like pretty much zero cravings at all. maybe here or there I had like, a craving for like something sweet and I would have like pineapple or dark chocolate or something,
Nice.
But outside of that, I haven't had any like, oh, I need to go eat a cheesecake or I need to go, do anything like that. Like, so it's been really good on that note.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, basically what happens is as your body starts to get more nutrients in, because all cravings are is nutritional deficiencies or cravings for nutrients. And humans, because we have been confused with what to do or we've distorted what we actually should be doing, people's minds goes to, oh, I'm craving something, I'm craving Oreos or yeah, something very bad for me. But actually all it is that your body's really craving, especially fats is the most common thing. And so when you start to get in all those fats that you've been having, all the cravings start to disappear very quickly, like you're experiencing. So
Yeah.
that's really solid. And
Yeah.
you'll notice that only when you not only, but typically when you start to, if you ever do like a low fat, maybe if you're traveling, you have limited access to the fats, then you will start to suddenly like, why am I craving all of this fruit? Or oh, now I really want a pizza or something. That's only because you're lacking some fats. And so 99% of the time it's remedied all cravings just by having more fats most of the time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, it makes sense because it's crazy. I even got my little brother to start doing like the raw milk and like some raw butter and stuff. And his skin, he's been on it for like 2 weeks and he had acne like I had acne because he's doing the bodybuilding stuff.
Mhm.
And bro, his skin's clearing up as well. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Nice. And I guess since we're talking about, I know the skin was one of the big things for you. That's why one of the reasons why you wanted to join in the first place. So can
Yeah.
you describe like a bit more what the skin back issue was? Because some people they have very dry skin, other people they have more on the acne side. I believe you had more on the acne side. So
Yeah.
yeah, and what age did you start to have that and so on?
Yeah. So I had bad acne from like 14 to like 18 and or 19. So I had pretty bad acne from that point on. Around 15, I did Accutane, which like was the worst experience. Like it cleared my skin up for like 1.5 years or so. I would get pimples here and there, but then like I turned like 19 and started breaking out again and again and again. And bro, it's just like all that like Accutane like side effects that you have to experience. Meanwhile, you're taking it like that. My lips would bleed, like my skin was like crusty, like it just wasn't a good feeling. And so after that, I was just like, I don't want to do Accutane again, because they always suggest, oh, like go on Accutane again, go on a second time, it'll clear up this time.
That's all they can suggest because they're limited by the confines of their books. Basically, they don't have that experience with the real world. So
Exactly, and it's crazy because like I was thinking, like, man, like if it didn't work once, I'm not about to go through that again just to have a possibility of it not working again. Like it was pretty bad. So I was like kind of sitting there like, damn, how am I about to clear this? And I've read some stuff about like, your gut health and how, getting fixing your gut will fix your skin and still like I tried to do that. Meanwhile, I was trying to stay under this amount of calories and stuff like that. So it just didn't work, man. Like I don't know. It was just too many like problems for myself meanwhile I was eating and I just like what I enjoy as a person is having a plan, like having something set there for me to look at and say, okay, yes, this is what I'm going to eat today. Like that's just kind of how I am. Usually I don't like to go and, stray too far away from that unless I'm going out to eat or something like that, which with this, you just get a steak, right? Um, but like with the whole like gut health thing, there's like so many articles and things. Oh, eat this superfood, eat kiwi, eat all these things, and I'm like, man, like I don't know where to start. So it was hard because you're reading all these things, and I didn't know where to start. So
Mhm.
I just kind of had acne pretty much my whole life until like pretty much I moved to Florida and started your plan. I guess the sun and your plan has been helping. So
Well, that's part of the plan, ideally, if you have access to it.
yeah,
Awesome. And
sun
so
and
the sun and the ocean, yeah,
yeah.
awesome. And so, how quickly, from the day that we started, how quickly did you start to notice that your skin was getting better? Because to me, it seemed like it was happening pretty quickly.
Yeah, within 2 weeks, honestly. Like within 2 weeks, like my skin was pretty much like, I didn't have like awful acne at the time, but like it was gone. Like my redness, I had like bumps here and there and like stuff like that. It was gone within 2 weeks. And like with my little brother, like he has like some like cystic acne and stuff like that. And the cysts and everything are like dried up for him in 2 weeks. So it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's quick.
get him to do very similar to what you're doing. He's gonna be great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. One thing that you also mentioned in the program in the Discord, you were saying how your hair has also started to improve. Can you maybe describe that a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. So, when you're kind of everybody that like kind of knows this problem it's like a problem that you have if you have a problem. So like my hair would get like frizzy. I have like curly hair, so it would get like too frizzy at the end of like some curls when it gets to a certain length, you know. And I noticed on this, like my hair doesn't get super frizzy anymore. Like it just like kind of stays smooth and nice, and like I just don't have too much frizz. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's such a problem that like if you've had the problem, you know what the problem is. You know what I mean? So like it's weird because I know I don't have straight hair. I have like curly hair, you know, and before it would like be like split dead ends and you know things like that. And now it's not at all. So it's nice.
So when you say frizz, because I have straight hair, so I can't personally relate, but it sounds like you're describing almost it feels a bit dry somehow.
Yes. Yeah. Dry, split at the end. Yeah. It's like exactly. Yeah. Dry.
Nice. That's good. That's improved a lot. And outside of the fit, like let's say the physical things that you've described, such as hair, you know, the things that are visible, in terms of like from like a cognition standpoint, focus, have you seen any changes there?
Yeah, I definitely have higher energy and like ability to lock in on a certain thing for you know a longer period of time. I've also just been more like driven as well. Like you know, the smallest little things like will just kind of ignite like a fire in you, and then you just kind of do it.
And how was it from like a perspective change in terms of like almost kind of metaphysical, like obviously the things that I show people in the program are very counter to what we were learning before with the bodybuilding. Like how has that part been? Like even the idea that fat is good, or you know, obviously even like raw dairy, for some people find that very eye-opening, like pasteurization is bad or unpasteurized is good, things like that. How has that side been of it, like the bacteria understanding and so forth?
Bro, that's
The
completely
reaction says a
like
lot.
yeah, it's completely like changed how I like think about things now. Like I can't walk into the normal supermarket anymore and be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy something from here because all those things that are like within each product are so bad. Like it's terrible. I'm like, and then I went back to see my family the other day, right? And Jersey, and this is when I got Riley on my like you know on the raw milk, the raw butter, everything like that. My mom goes, what are you drinking?" And like, "Oh, it's unpasteurized milk." She goes, "That's bad for you." And I was like, no, like it's crazy because bro, like you're raised a certain way, you're raised, and most people are so misinformed when it comes down to like you know how it will make you feel and how it's good for you, how it's bad for you. Everyone thinks like, oh yeah, well there's bad bacteria in there too, and bro, like that's what I thought. I was like, well, okay, I mean I'm gonna do it, but you know, like hopefully I don't die, you know, like
Right.
so, it's definitely interesting, and like you know, my mom is a nurse even. She's a
Okay.
nurse.
He's
She's
playing the
like
matrix there a bit.
exactly, yeah. And she was like, Connor, eating all that fat's not gonna be good for you. And I was like, well, I feel great, so I'm gonna just keep running with it, you know. But you know, she just like was kind of explaining to me like, oh well, it's not good for you, it's not good for you, it's not good for you. So from the you know the person that's within the whole medical system like that believes all that or me that's actually feeling how it actually makes me feel like I feel like it's crazy because she was like how I was when I first heard about your thing. Like when
Yeah.
you were like, oh yeah, like don't eat all the fat. I was like, whoa, fuck, like you know, 250 grams of butter, man. Like, geez, like you know, that's gonna be crazy. But
Yeah.
this man is it's been such a good like change in how my body feels.
Mhm.
And your body tells you how you feel. You know what I mean? Like it'll talk to you. You know, like,
Would you say that it gives you some, do you think that partly comes from the confidence in not just seeing changes in your body and improvements, but almost finding a system that works really well in terms of your health? Would you describe that gives you some confidence or maybe just some more efficiency because you kind of know a good system that works for health? Like if you know what I'm trying to say.
yes, absolutely. I would say that's a big part of it because, like I was saying earlier, like I'm big on routines. I'm big on like having something laid out right in front of me, and I know what I'm going to eat. I know what I'm going to do that day. Like at night, I'll make sure that I know what I'm going to do the next day as far as business goes. It's nice to know what you're going to eat, and it's nice to know that what you're going to eat is going to fuel you properly. You know, so that's I would say is a big part of it as well.
Why would you be willing to even try it in the first place? Because some people would be fearful, right? Like you were saying, you were also somewhat skeptical at the start, but you had the courage or something that made you do it. Is it because you were maybe suffering a lot with your skin, or
Yeah,
what it
absolutely.
was?
I would say it's because I was suffering a lot with my skin, and not long before like I had gotten into your program, I was reading about gut health and like good bacteria, bad bacteria, and things like that.
Mhm.
And so pretty much I was like, okay, probably this is going to be good bacteria for my so I tried that out, and it turns out it was. So yeah, I just kind of took that little like risk there, not risk really, just took that chance, that it would be good, and it
Yeah.
ended up being good. Plus, we met through GCC, and I feel like nobody in GCC is gonna feed you poison.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really good that you had the courage to do that, because not everyone does. Some people would be scared at the first hurdle. So that's really cool, and I'm glad to see you benefited a lot. I
Yeah,
just
man.
have a couple more questions. I'm wondering, like, outside of the health benefit, or maybe even within the health benefits, you came because of the background bodybuilding, the skin issues that you wanted. What's like something has there been something that you didn't expect to improve that has improved?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking about my like hair or honestly like my, yeah. So there is something, yeah.
Well, you have to say a bit more than that. Come on.
Yeah, bro,
in,
like
in the most subtle way that you want to.
in bed, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, that was not anything I expected, but it's there, bro. Like it's crazy, significant difference. Yeah,
Okay.
in 100%.
That's good to hear. That's that
Yeah,
testosterone increasing
yeah,
already.
yeah, dude. That's
Awesome.
probably the main thing. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, seems like other people are getting the benefits of you doing the program.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
exactly. We're spreading the Oscar program to all the people that want it.
oh, man. And what would you say to the people, or even entrepreneurs, let's say, that are kind of on the fence about investing into their health? That's what this is really about. It's actually about health more than anything. Like, what would you say to those guys?
Yeah, I would say that investing in your health is probably the best investment that you can make. Not only because you're going to feel better about yourself, but because you're going to feel better about doing, certain things within your day, like your business. You're going to feel better about doing those boring things more often. You're going to feel better about taking risks. You're going to just feel better overall because you're more confident. And I would say that like investing in your health is probably it is literally the only like thing that like will separate you from another guy. Like, you could have like $100 billion, or you could have $100 billion, or $10 billion and be a super healthy guy. In my opinion, like the guy that's super healthy all the time is going to be happier overall. He's going to have like better connections because you're healthier, you're disciplined, things like that. Than the guy that's fat and maybe 100 billion is a little too much, but maybe 10 million versus 1 million. But like if you have $1 million versus some fat guy that's like undisciplined, has no fitness, has nothing, with 10 mil, I guarantee you your mind is going to be at a better place than that guy with 10 million. He's fat
Yeah.
and not healthy, and it's just because you're, like I said, your body speaks to you, and when you're not healthy, your body's going to tell you that. And so I feel like investing in your health, especially if you can do that, is the best thing that you can do, outside of just work on your business, if you're in business.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. 100%. 100%.
It really does give you peace of mind. Like it gives you peace of mind knowing like, yeah, I'm healthy, I'm going to live for a long time, I'm going to be able to have kids, family, make sure they're healthy. Like it gives you peace of mind knowing that you're healthy enough to be able to do those things.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah, it gives you that reassurance that you're doing the right thing, and
yeah,
from that you gain confidence, and as you're describing now.
exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those are the main questions that I had. That was really good to see how you've improved that. It's been nice to see that you've been very enthusiastic. You jumped in like from day one. You were doing everything that we were suggesting. So I think you've then been rewarded with very nice results so far. So that's really good to hear. Um,
Exactly.
I don't know if there was anything else that you wanted to say, or even actually if you had any feedback for how we could improve the program, improve the product at all.
um I mean, I think everything has been good, man. I personally like didn't have a problem understanding the program. I didn't have a problem, with reading the things in Discord or anything at all. And I feel like you guys have it pretty down pat. Like you guys are good. I feel like it's pretty simple, like for people to understand. It's just eat right,
Mhm.
and you actually have to do it. Same thing as like if you're starting a business, you just have to actually start. So I feel like
Yeah.
you guys can give everybody as much as info as you want in the Discord and everything like that, but it's up to them to actually make use of it. So
Yeah.
I think you guys did great.
No, I'm glad to hear, man. Thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure, really, to help you out.
No, 100%. We'll link up when you're in Miami.
Yeah, bro. I'll be there in a week's time, so we can meet up for sure. Go for some oysters or something.
Sure. Let's do it, bro. Sweet.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for hopping on the call. I appreciate it. I know you're very busy, so yeah, thanks a lot. I'll text you about Miami next week.
Sweet, bro. All right. We'll chat. Peace, man.
Take care. All the best.
Bye.